This is Gamer Weekly, bringing you the latest of what the video game scene has to offer. On today's episode of Gamer Weekly, I have Philip from Talewind Studios, and we'll be talking about his latest game, Talewind. Alright, and welcome to another episode of Gamer Weekly. With me today is Philip from Windlimit Studios. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, your current game that you are working on is Talewind, and by working on, I mean it's out, but you're still patching it up here and there.
Yes.
So,
that's correct.
Tell me about Talewind.
Well, Talewind is a very hard, old-school platformer that I've been working on for the last 1 year and 9 months. It started because I was bored with my master's degree, and then I invited a friend that lived with me on my bachelor's degree to start a game. I just said to him, "Hey, you wanna come to Lisbon, make a game?" And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And we started making Talewind. Really early on, we decided that we wanted to make a Ghibli-inspired art because we really both like the Ghibli studios from Japan. And then the game just took off. I made a prototype in like 2 nights, laying on my bed, and the prototype had some solid gameplay for a prototype, and we just went from there.
And it took a year and a half for it to finally come into its own thing.
A little bit more than a year and a half, but yeah.
So, what would you say is probably the best part of Talewind for you?
The best part of Talewind? Well, I really like the wind tunnels and how the wind makes you move, because the game is based on wind. Maybe I should have said that on the last question, but as I told you before, I'm really bad with the interview, so you really get some nice movement from the wind tunnels in the game, and every world has a different kind of wind. Some wind sucks you in, some wind pushes you out, some wind just makes you freeze in place. And you can really get some nice combinations with the winds from all the worlds and make some cool stuff. I also really like that there's lore, which I wrote with my magical writing skills, which probably suck. But I really like that because I really enjoy that you see, like when you play WoW, you can know about the world and stuff like that. I really enjoy that part of games when they have it.
And so,
I guess, yeah, that's it.
So with being able to move with the wind and stuff, is it more of like a speed-like game, kind of like how old Sonic games are, where you can run through the levels as fast as possible, or is it more of like it works with puzzles? How exactly does it coincide with the gameplay?
The game starts out faster like Sonic, but then it slows down a bit because the game is it's hard. I'm not gonna lie here. If you're looking for a very relaxing experience where you can just fly through the levels and reach the end very quickly, you're not gonna get that. But when you reach like World 3, things start getting a bit complicated, and you have to really slow down a bit if you are new to the game, of course. If you're fast, if you're good at the game and you have played it a few times, you can probably just buzz through it really quickly. It's that kind of a game. If you're good at it, it's gonna make a huge difference. Like when you see people speedrunning Mario or Sonic, you just look at them and think, how the fuck does this guy do that? It's the same kind of feeling you get on Talewind.
So it's basically kind of like the Dark Souls experience, where as you go on, you get better at that game, and you're like, okay, cool, like I know what to do when this kind of situation happens to me.
Yeah, I'd like to say that, but I know a few people are probably gonna be pissed off for saying that and say my games suck. So I'd rather not. But yeah, you can say that.
Those people that are like, How dare you compare anything to the
Dark
glory
Souls.
that is Dark Souls? I will come down to that studio and just stomp your ass in for
Kill
even
your unborn children.
they will praise the sun at me. I'll admit I only got through like an hour or two of each Dark Souls game, so I'm pretty terrible at them. So, how exactly do you balance out a game being difficult? Because there are times where you play a game and you're like, is it being fair when it's difficult, or is it being ridiculous when it's kind of like Dark Souls. Sometimes you're like, okay, that was me, and then other times you're like, okay, that was them.
Really
that
hard.
had to be them.
It's really hard. I think most of our negative reviews are because the game is really hard, and people are just not expecting something that hard, or maybe they're just used to mobile games. I don't know. This generation is a bit like that. They want easy stuff, and some people just say, "Hey, your game is too frustrating," and I really hate that I can't do this or that, and it's really hard to balance the game because of that. That's why we released a patch actually yesterday, I don't know, because of the time, which by the time this interview airs will be 4 weeks or so. Because people kept on complaining that the game was too hard and too frustrating, and we said, fuck it, let's just make it easier. And then we lowered the times on the collectibles and remove the life system so people can die 100 times. And make people happy in general, I guess. It's really hard. You always try to make the levels as fair as possible. Try to warn people things are coming that are gonna kill them. But some people are always going to complain. It's impossible to make everyone happy, I guess.
I was about to say, yeah, I can't think of any game that everyone universally is like, that's the greatest game I've ever played. Like, even games like Super Mario Brothers, where there's always going to be that one guy that's like, well, there are better games out there, honestly. I didn't care for that. And it's like, dude, come on. Are you serious? So, with being able to see reviews on, like, Steam, where it's pretty public on what exactly people are saying about your game, do you feel like that helps influence the way that you are creating your games and having like that kind of feedback?
Oh, definitely. You have to cater to people, right? Because you want to sell your game. If you don't sell your game, you go bankrupt and you can't make another one. So you have to listen to what people are saying. Even if it's not your game, you can check out some reviews from other games and see, hey, they didn't like this on this game and that on that game, and you have to kind of shape your vision of the game to go into the direction that those people want. So it's kind of like a mix of what you want to do and what makes those people happy. I guess.
Has there been any times like, okay, so like when you're reading the reviews and they say something that they really like that you didn't really expect people to like?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think people have actually put much time into my game yet. Mostly you see reviews with 2 hours, 3 hours. I have seen people really like the lore bits that I put on a game. When you play, you're gonna see there's some stones that give you the lore, as I told you earlier. And I wasn't expecting such a positive feedback, I guess, from that. I thought it would be like one guy or two that would enjoy it, because I thought the players were too casual to enjoy that kind of thing. So that's I guess that fits the question.
So what is your favorite level in Talewind?
My favorite level? Oh man, that's a hard question.
It's like saying who's your favorite child? Like, well,
I made almost all the levels in Tailwind. So I guess maybe the first special level is really fun and challenging. I also really like the second level of the second world. I think it's really original. It has a different kind of vibe from the whole game, I guess.
But overall, the whole thing is your favorite.
The whole thing. Well, there are some levels that I think I really messed up, like level 3-1. I think that's probably the worst level in the game.
So basically, it's like just power through it, guys. Trust us. Like after 3-1, it's really great.
Yeah, no, people get really frustrated with that level. That level has kind of a history because it was supposed to be the 2-1, but it became the 3-1, and things just don't go as planned sometimes. And yeah, that's why it kind of came out messed up. But it's still playable. It's still playable. It's not one of the hardest though. But people just seem to not like it, I guess.
As long as it functions, I think a lot of people will be okay. I remember playing, I think it was God of War back in like 2005, and there was a level that they didn't test at all. It was like the hell level, which is like towards the end. You think, okay, they should probably test that. You would fall through the stage at random. And the best part about it though was watching my brother play it and him enjoying this game. He was loving this game. It was one of the best games, he was saying. And then he got to this level, and I saw him throw the controller. And then they fixed it, and he was like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" Yeah.
I can assure you that no one is going to fall through the floor on Tailwind.
All right, guys, that's the challenge now. You have to fall through the game in Tailwind. You have to send video evidence to him. So
let's throw a challenge then. If you can find a place where you can fall through the floor, I'll give you a free key for you to give to your friend.
All right, guys, you hear that? Get as many free keys as possible. So if you guys want to check out Tailwind, it is available now, and you can get that game on Steam. And do you have any future plans for console, or are we just sticking with PC for now?
I really want to port it to console, but I really don't know because it's my first game what that entails yet. I think it might be a bit of too big of a headache, to be fair. But I really want to, like 1 month or 2 from now, when we start doing our free content that we're planning on to the people that bought a game, start looking into that and maybe port to Xbox or PS4. I think the Wii is a little bit harder to port to or get into, so those will be probably our primary targets, the Xbox and the PS4.
All right, cool. Well, guess what, guys? You should check out Tailwind, and it's a pretty dope game. So hopefully everyone out there enjoys it, and if you like a game that is very challenging, then this is right up your alley. And if you like Gamer Weekly, then you should probably show it to all your friends so that I can afford to make more episodes. Until then, I'll see you guys. Well, you'll hear from me next week. We don't really see each other. But yeah, we're on SoundCloud now, so you can find us on Gadget.tv, SoundCloud, and what was that other one? iTunes. Yeah, so got an Android phone? Fantastic. You got an iPhone? Don't care. There you go. Every possible way of listening to it. So thank you so much for listening, guys, and thank you so much, Philip, for coming on to the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin, for having me.
All right, and take it easy, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this week's Gamer Weekly. This is Justin Banster signing off.